Hello and welcome back to the Content Podcast. I am joined by, probably the best dressed man in the news building, Mr. Darren Bent. Benty, how are we, mate?
I'm not bad, yeah. I'm glad it's the second time around. We're working, we're moving, buzzing.
Right, okay, so we'll have to explain it, won't we? So basically, we actually recorded this podcast last week, but there was a few technical difficulties.
You forgot to press record.
And Ben, he was just swearing, he was giving away his bank details and all that, and I thought, do you know what, we can't put that out, can we? It was nothing to do with me not clicking record. So we've just come off, well not me, yourself, you've just come off your show with Andy Goldstein, which is Drive Time on talkSPORT itself. How are things going, not just with today's show, but generally how are you finding things?
Yeah, well, good to be fair. I really enjoy working with Goldstein. It's great stuff. Learn a lot from him by working with him a lot. Also giving him a little bit of stick, as I give you stick, because Arsenal battered United. We weren't going to talk about that. He's always Goldstein always chirping off, and Neil always chirping off. Arsenal slapped 3-1. What do you think about that? What do you think about that result?
Right, do you know what? I think this will be the first ever sports podcast that bans any talk of football. But no, we'll have to face the music, right? Because if Man United won, I would have been giving you the stick, and rightly so. To be honest with you, I know it doesn't matter much, but I do think Man United were the better side. Yeah. I think that period, around the penalty, which I really do not know why Ronaldo didn't take it. Quite literally, the best penalty taker of all time. It's better than you, Benty. You can take that one, right?
I'll take that from Ronaldo.
Yeah, Cristiano himself. Congrats, and I look forward to one of two things happening. Either you bottle top four, or you get to the Champions League, and you lose every game and drop into the Europa by the new year anyway.
I know, I hear that, yeah, but it's nice to be in the Champions League, hopefully.
Weren't you still playing when Arsenal were?
Did we beat you? No. Did we beat you? 3-1 at the weekend?
Okay, yeah. Right, shall we actually get onto this podcast instead of you taking the Michael out of me?
Enjoy the Europa Conference next season, yeah? We can start now. Conference. Ronaldo.
You bottle this top four, this is going all over social media.
United Conference League.
Oh, what have we done to you, Cristiano? Oh no. So what I actually wanted to ask you was
why are United terrible? No, we can't carry it.
Do you wanna? I'm actually going to run out of memory again if you go short. No, so obviously when you were a footballer and playing at the height of your career, there was always goals. There was always whether it would be this amount of goals you score, or the league position, or we want to go for this trophy, or anything like that. The goals are quite clear, aren't they? But with the media side of things, it's quite difficult to put your finger on it. There's all sorts of things you could go into. So what are the goals for you then in your new career?
It's a tough one, really. Obviously, you want to be as successful as you can. Do you know what I mean? To be obviously on drive time 3 days a week is fantastic. The goal obviously is to be on there all 5 days, which would be amazing.
Sorry, so just if the talkSPORT hierarchy are listening, Benty wants
drive 5 days a week.
5 days a week.
But obviously you look at the likes of Adrian and Goffey, two fantastic. Incredible. Adrian for me, one of the greats.
Yeah.
What they did, learning from them guys. Goffey as well, fantastic. Obviously I like what he's doing now at Yorkshire Cricket Club. It's massively important what he's doing down there. Doing a fantastic job. So yeah, that would be the goal in that. But also, I like doing my TV stuff. It'd be nice also to maybe branch away from sport. Like obviously keep doing the talkSPORT stuff, which I love. Maybe keep being involved in Premier League productions, a little bit of Sky. But it'd be good to branch out to something else other than just sport. For me, I look at someone like 𝙤𝙤𝙚𝙪, who's kind of the benchmark, who does all the sports stuff. He's done the co-coms, he does do the co-coms, he's done the studio show, he's on BT Sport, but he's also the one show where it's completely different to just sport. So that would be the goal. He's the kind of person I look at and think, I wouldn't mind going down that similar path. He did the World Cup draw when he's had fantastic opportunities. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So that's like I look at. I'd love to be involved with him, and that's kind of what you set your targets to. Where
does that inner motivation come from then? Because obviously you had a stellar career, not only playing, but now obviously in front of the camera instead of front of the goal. What makes you want to branch out to other things and try new things? What is it inside you that makes you want to do that?
I think just tell myself don't ever settle. And it's funny actually because when I put a picture up on my socials at the end of last season, at the start of this year, and that's footballing season terms.
Yeah.
And I remember saying, listen, fantastic year, obviously being involved in the Euros and a number of other projects that I was really proud of. And a lot of people commented saying it's been really good. But out of all the comments where people were saying, oh fantastic, you've had a really good year and all this and all that, the one comment that kind of stuck was from 𝙤𝙤𝙚𝙪, who wrote on my page, and he just put, don't settle. Don't ever settle. Yeah. And that's kind of stuck with me, to be fair. And as I said, I'm talking about JJ a lot, but he's someone for me that had a really, really good career. Probably wasn't the likes of Rio and Steven Gerrard, no. But he's gone even further than, you just say maybe he's even gone even further in his broadcasting career than maybe he did playing football, and he had a fantastic career. But that was the one comment where I looked at when you look at all the comments that came through. the one that kind of hit home where you just put, don't settle, don't ever settle. And they're the kind of words that stick with me. So even when I'm trying something new or someone tells you, no, not quite yet, you keep working, you keep striving to be on that level that you feel you should be or that you can get to, and just keep trying to make yourself as best as you can.
Yeah, definitely. I think what's a quite prominent thing with you, Benty, is the work that you do put in, and obviously you do your own show as well beyond Drive and all the other stuff that you do, which is obviously Darren Bent's Boot Room on a Sunday with Alex Crook and your very good friend Darren Ambrose. Not to say you're not very good friends with Crookie, right?
No, I hate him.
That's horrible.
No,
I know you do.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah, top bloke. So, where do you see that show going? Because obviously, with the inner drive that you have, you know, and like you said, you know, you should never settle. People from the outside will look at it and think, you know, he's got his own show now. This is it. This is where a lot of people would get to. Where do you see this one going?
I want to take the Boot Room as far as I can, because when I got offered that opportunity to do the Boot Room, I remember sitting there with Lee Clayton in the event space down there, and or it might have been Laurie, one or two of them, and they were like, listen, we like what you've done here, we've got an idea, it's the Boot Room on Sundays, 5 till 8. I'm still trying to work out the kinks around it, but I think you've earned the right to do that, give it a go, see what you think. And it's just one of them where because my name's above the door, it almost feels like for me, the way I think about, when I talk about talkSPORT, fantastic organisation to work for, I think Drive is here way long before I got here, and will be here long after I'm gone. So that's established. Breakfast, the same, which I'm involved in. The Darren Bent Boot Room is my baby.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. They've named it that because of me. Do you know what I mean? So I almost feel like a responsible parent that has to look after this. That's why I dip into my contacts as much as I can. I try and get some of the biggest names on there, whether it be Rooney or Jordan Henderson, do you know what I mean, or 𝙟𝙪𝙨𝙯, do you know what I mean, we've done. So I try and get them names on my Boot Room because, as I said, the production staff behind Drive and Breakfast, loads of people. The Boot Room is me, Ambrose, Crookie, you've got Rufus in there a little bit, Harry obviously on the buttons, Hugo dips his head in, Luke dips his head in, but there's not a real massive team behind it. So whenever we get the guests we do it ourselves. So for me, I want this show to keep going, as long as it can become one of the most established shows on the radio. Do you know what I mean? So that's where I want to take it. I believe it can do that. I put the work in. I know Crookie puts the work in. I know Ambrose works harder than most people that I know in this industry. Do you know what I mean? Jump of a hat, he's there. He'll do it, whether it be talkSPORT or Sky Sport, wherever he's needed, he's there because he wants to make himself better. So I know for us to put our heads together and drive forward and push forward, we can take that show to a really good place.
So obviously we've mentioned, you know, that you do it with Crookie and Darren Ambrose, who just had, I think it's a brilliant trio really. You know, you've obviously got the banter side of things, which is quite a lot, but then, you know, the journalistic side of things is brought in by Crookie, the experiences of being players and being in them environments obviously brought by yourself and Ambrose. And I got in touch with both of them in preparation for this interview, just to let me know and let the world know what they think of Darren Bent. Okay. So have a look at this.
Yeah, I'd love to come here and say what an awful guy he is, but he ain't. I put an Instagram post out the other day. 25 years I think I've known Benty since we were 12, 13. So it's been an awful long time. I've actually just got back from Footy Addicts with Benty, where he scored a hat-trick. Put a couple on the plate for him, but we won't mention that. But yeah, as a football player, one of the best I played with as a finisher, all-round, unbelievable finisher. In youth team days, Benty will remember it. All I had to do was put it over the top and he'd score. And then we took that into the first team. I was gutted we didn't get to play with each other for more. I left Ipswich early, then we played with Charlton together. He left Charlton early. So, you know, that's a regret of mine in my career because what a fantastic player. Helped me as well get into the media side of things. Was a big part of that. Now I'm Darren Bent's Boot Room. Absolutely love it. And yeah, he's always there for me, Benty. He was there when my old man passed last year. He was best man at his wedding. I know he's at the end of the phone, as I am for him. So I don't want to get all emotional and all that rubbish, but top guy. Always say best mate in football by a long shot. So yeah, just an all-round top guy. So love it, DB.
Benty, Crookie here. I've been asked to put together a video talking about you. As you know, normally I'd be sticking the boot in and giving you some stick, but I'm going to be nice for once. I've got to say it's been an absolute pleasure working with you on the Boot Room for the past 18 months or so, seeing the way that you've developed as a host, really making that show your own, bringing us some great guests, using your contacts book to get people like Wayne Rooney to come on, which is fantastic. and how hard you work. You're the only person who puts in more hours than me, I think, over the course of a week with your breakfast stuff, PLP. It's brilliant to see you shining in your second career. I have to say you're just as good at it as you were from scoring from 6 yards. All the best.
So I think that's probably as nice as you're going to get from Crookie.
Yeah.
How does that feel? Obviously, I know you were friends with Ambrose for a long time, and Crookie obviously beyond your playing career, I assume.
Yeah.
But what's it been like then, really, to establish that relationship with the pair of them and really make the shows you say your own?
Yeah, it's been fantastic because, as you said there, I've known Daz since we were kids. Do you know what I mean? I've been there with Daz through, as I said there, tough times. Obviously, the passing of his dad not that long ago. I knew Paul since I was a little boy as well. Often his parents and my parents would stand together and watch me and Daz develop together. Yeah, Daz knows. Obviously, if you ever need anything, ever obviously needed me for anything, I'd be there in a heartbeat. Obviously, bringing him to me as well, because they asked me at the start when it was Darren Bent, who did I want with me at the time. And straight away, I gave him an answer within 1 second. I said, Darren Ambrose, he has to be one. Even though he hadn't done that much, I know what Daz is capable of. I know when Daz sets his mind to something, he'll achieve it. So he was always going to be one. And with Crookie, obviously, I didn't know hardly anything about him. Obviously, I knew him from co-commentary. I heard his voice.
Yeah.
But when I say a guy that has brought out the best in me, as I've hopefully brought out the best in him, always challenging me, to be fair, with some of the things he says, top journalist, top co-coms. I mean, if ever there was a story that was breaking on the boot room, I'm glad that he's there, because he's across most things. He's a top man. Not only is he a top broadcaster, top co-coms, he's a good person. Yeah. And I think that's what I like about the kind of Sunday crew, and certainly the boot room, is I've got Ambrose, who I've known for a long time, who I know I can depend on for anything. And Crookie now is falling into that same category that I know if I'm struggling with anything, I can go to Crookie, but also as well, they're decent human beings. So really good guy. I couldn't wish to work with two guys more than them two.
Definitely. I mean, like I said, I've been in and around obviously on Sundays when you're in the prep for the boot room and stuff, and it's just a great atmosphere, isn't it? It's the perfect environment really to come into and still remember you've got a job at the end of the day to do, but to be around them people that are, like you say, going to bring the best out of you. And you know, as you've mentioned briefly before, you don't do just talkSPORT, you do a whole host of things, whether that be with Sky Sports or Premier League productions. With all of this experience, whether it be on the radio, obviously the TV stuff, what would you say the big thing is that you've learned most in your new career out of everything? What's the one thing that sort of relates to it all, if that makes sense?
I guess for me, anything is possible. I think if you set your mind to something, then it is achievable. Because I remember when I first started in this industry, I always felt a sense of, by me doing it, this is me being a young black footballer, we know at times opportunities can be limited. We know that, we understand that. But we're in an age now where obviously you've got discrimination, equality, we're all fighting for diversity. And to be fair, talkSPORT gave me that platform. And for me, I almost feel a sense of kind of black footballers that are coming up behind me, almost like, well, look where Darren's getting to. He's on talkSPORT now 4 or 5 days a week. He's now doing his Sky stuff. He's on PLP. Managed to host my first show on Premier League TV, like I think it was last month or the month before that. I want, like, obviously, not only just black people, black kids, but young kids in general to go, well, listen, if Darren can do it, then there's no reason why I can't do it. Do you know what I mean? So I guess I feel a sense of responsibility in that manner, in the way I conduct myself as well. But just as I said, just the fact that if you set goals, anything's possible. Do you know what I mean? When I came here, I remember thinking, right, I want to be a broadcaster, I want to be a driver as much as I can, but also I want to host my own show, work my way. And obviously at times you probably feel like, I ain't never getting anywhere near that. It's miles away.
Yeah.
But the more you chip away, the more you learn your craft, the more you have good days. You're going to have bad days, by the way, where you've said something, people come for you, you've got to just own it. The more you keep working, the more you keep trying to improve your craft, you're getting closer and closer to your goals. And listen, I'm still a long way off where I want to be, but I feel I'm going in the right direction. It's
really refreshing to hear at the end of the day, really, because, you know, someone who has experienced so many highs in their career, whether it be the playing side or even the broadcasting side now, you know, it's very easy to get complacent. It's very easy. It's very easy to go, do you know what, like, look around, I'm doing okay for myself here. This is where you envisioned yourself to be months ago. But it's, like I said, so refreshing to hear that when you did reach that goal, there's another goal waiting for you to go.
Yeah, honestly, it's almost like it's not enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know, I mean, you get some people out there that talk about, obviously, being happy or content. It's about being content, and right now, you're not, do you know what I mean? And I always think to myself, a lot of people look at me from the outside and go, well, how can he not be content? He's on Premier League on a Monday, he does talkSPORT Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Sunday. He sometimes does soccer special as well on a Saturday and a Tuesday night. How can he not be content? And I'm probably like, no, it's not enough for me. And you know what I mean? I've got that burning desire, I need more. But if I was to all of a sudden lose all of that, I'd be sitting home thinking what I did with them shows 7 days a week. Then I'd go, oh my goodness, I moaned when I was working 7 days a week on top shows. But while I'm in it and it's going well, there's still that burning itch. It's just not enough. I need something. There's more to come. But listen, I guess that's a good place to be. I'm still young. I'm only 38. So listen, long may it continue.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, with all your experiences, forget football, even just on the broadcaster side of things, you've met some incredible people from the different industries and platforms that you've worked with. So as I did for the boot room, I got in touch with one or two of familiar faces that you have worked with in your new career, shall we say. Have a watch of this.
Well, if ever there was an open-ended question, this has to be it. So the question was to me, what do you think of Darren Bent? Blimey, this could go horribly wrong. Well, look, obviously the three things that come to mind would have to be trainers, footballer, maybe before trainers, and Shackit. He loves the Shackit 𝙤𝙚 𝘾𝙤𝙧𝙚. But having worked with him for every week this season, actually, for the first time, kind of knew Darren before, but clearly not as well as I do now. And he's an absolute pleasure to be with in the studio. I love his chilled persona. Nothing ever phases him. I know he's fiercely ambitious to be a presenter, which, you know, I suppose any other presenter would feel a little bit, he's after my job. He's still got a long way to go. No, I'm only joking. I think he could do that. He could do it with his eyes closed. Although actually, no, he needs to read an auto cue. So maybe scrub that bit out. I think he's obviously doing well on the boot room at talkSPORT. And I think PLP's given him even more firmer grounding to move forward. And I like that about him. He acts like nothing really kind of ruffles his feathers. But I think inside he's serious about what he wants. And I respect him for it. And as a pundit, you want someone who's easy, relaxed, and as I mentioned, chilled. And he gets the viewers and in radio, the listeners at ease. And I like that about him. And he's been a pleasure to work with. And he's hoping that our first year is the first of at least 2 or 3 more to come.
Wow, what to say about Darren Bent? Premier League Century Club. He's on the list. One unbelievable achievement. He was so cool in front of goal, but now look at how cool he is when he's on the media. His talkSPORT shows are incredible. Whenever he comes into Sky Sports News, he's always chatting to everyone. He really wants to know what we're going to talk about. Really, really a lot of respect for Darren Bent, I have to say, both as a footballer and now as a broadcaster as well. So when you sum it all up, Darren Bent scored over 100 Premier League goals. He's now a really good broadcaster on talkSPORT and on Sky Sports and everywhere else that he's on. And most importantly, he's a really, really, really top guy. When you put it like that, it's pretty annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, it is quite annoying to be honest with you, Benny. But no, you know, how does that feel? Obviously, I think I might be being a bit biased because obviously I work at talkSPORT, but it feels obviously you're here a lot more than you are other places. So this feels like, I'm not putting you in the top of your number one job, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm here, what, 5 days a week?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we can give you that. But to be able to have such an influence on people that you meet, like you said, once, maximum twice a week, and for them to say such nice words about you, how does that feel?
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, when you look at them 2 examples there, obviously I see
Legends of the game, aren't they? Absolute legends.
I mean, you start with 𝙤𝙗. Obviously, I see 𝙤𝙗 every now and then at Sky, but whenever we see each other, we have a laugh, have a joke. I've loved working with him. Easy to get on with. Whenever I ask him a question, do you know what I mean, there's always positive feedback, or he always helps with what I need to do. Really, really nice guy. I've always spent good time with him when I've been at Sky. And yeah, the words what he said, they were really, really nice. I quite like that. Manish is, listen, you talk about one of the GOATs, man. The
GOATs, he is, he's right up there,
isn't he? You talk about one of the GOATs, man, that I've never known someone that could step into a studio and make something look so seamless. Like, and when I say that, is that obviously I've worked with Manish, it's the most I've worked with Manish this whole season. I've learned so much from him, because he is somebody that when he steps into the studio, we will be laughing and joking, and the count will get to 10, right? 10 seconds till we're on air, or 10 seconds to pre-record something, and bang, he's in presenter mode, and nothing will phase him. Whether it's the way he delivers these messages, the way he delivers the auto cue, whether it's thrown to a VT, whatever it is, you talk about one of the greats that are out there. But even not only that as well, as a person, I've got to know Manish a lot this season. Obviously being a Leicester fan, we obviously banter about Arsenal and Leicester, but a really, really good person. Someone that obviously, as I said, I like being around. I've enjoyed working with him. I hope I get many more opportunities to work with him. But on all round, what a nice guy, and it's been an absolute pleasure working with him.
I think we've summed it up nicely, really. You know, your career in, well, your short career. You know, it feels as if obviously because you've done this for quite a while now that this is all you've ever done. But you know, you had a pretty decent playing career, if I'm not mistaken. You know, you had a big money move really to Tottenham, and there's just a couple of things I want to touch on very briefly. Obviously, as we all know that you're an Arsenal fan, did that ever come into your head a little bit when you moved to Spurs, or was it just too big of a move to really turn down?
Yeah, as you said there, it's too big of a move to turn down. There was no real dispute when the move came up. I didn't really think I'm an Arsenal fan down there. It wasn't about that. When anyone who's been a footballer or has been in that situation will understand that your job comes first before. Do you know what I mean? You get a lot of fans that are like, I would never do that. When you're in that situation, the fan gets knocked out of you relatively quickly. Yeah, of course you do. Because I'm an Arsenal fan. I've been playing against Arsenal at Charlton.
You had a great record against Arsenal, didn't you?
I scored against them more than second league behind Bolton. Bolton was one there too. So it's one of them where I scored against them a lot. But you have to put it out of your mind.
Yeah,
I've scored against them for Tottenham.
Yeah.
So
did you celebrate?
I got the ball out of that because we were 4-3-1 or 4-1 down at the time. But it was one of them where you have to put that to one side.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, it's a career at the end of the day. It's a job, and you've got to do the best you can. And that's what I did when I tried to do at Spurs.
Yeah, most definitely. And as I mentioned, you know, it was a big money move at the time. I think it was about 16.5 million, was it?
Yeah.
And back then, at that time, it was a world record. Well, a world record fee for Tottenham anyway.
It's a big fee. Yeah.
It's a big fee, and does that play on your mind a little bit? And how long does it play on your mind? Because as we've seen before, you know, and I've said, we've had this conversation many a times, you know, even just look at Man United, whether it's Paul Pogba or Harry Maguire, their price tag will always, yeah, exactly, whether it's a good performance, say, well, he should be at that level because of the money he went for, and if he doesn't have a good game, we've seen it all season, really, haven't we?
I struggled with it the first year. Not only did I struggle with it the first year, I also had Berbatov, Keane and Defoe to get past in front of me.
Best of luck, mate.
Exactly, so you've got them three, and then you add the price tag on top.
Yeah.
A lot of the Spurs fans before I even got there were saying, why are we spending 16.5 million on another centre forward? We've got three very, very good ones. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was tough from the get-go. Spurs fans didn't really accept the fact that they spent the money on me. They were all saying they should have bought a centre-half or somebody else. So my whole experience at Spurs was tough from start to finish. Even though second season went a lot better, was their top goal scorer the second season, I was never really fully accepted by Spurs or any of the... Not the players were brilliant, the people that worked at the club. I still speak to people that work at the club now. But certainly the Spurs fans, I wasn't really accepted as maybe as much as I would have liked. But that's just one of them things. But as I said, the first season was tough under the price tag. But the second season, I coped with it a bit better.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously the numbers speak for themselves, don't they, really, in the latter stages of your career at Tottenham. And speaking about obviously the goals you scored, there's a thank you in order really from me. It's just reminding me of your 82 rated card on FIFA.
Yeah.
That Darren
82
Bent.
sounds like disrespect, by the way.
We'll get to that just shortly, but
Trust.
you know,
82.
there's a big thanks because wow, he banged some serious goals for me. That card, I'll tell you what. I mean, just chip it over the top. It's curtains then, isn't it? When DB's running in goal,
finishing 90s. Must have been 90s.
Yeah, so we'll get on to it then. I think we can both agree that 82 is a bit of a disrespect, isn't it?
Disrespect, 82.
Shocker.
I should have been at least 87.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. So go on, what in his pomp, what's Darren Bent?
87, 88. Got
Yeah?
to be, yeah.
And the shooting?
Shooting.
I
91.
will say it's probably going to be post 90s, isn't it? Just above.
Yeah, got to be.
Yeah.
Shooting, maybe 88. Finishing,
Yeah.
95.
So you're saying one-on-one with the goalie?
Goal. You know, you told me.
Yeah.
88 goal.
So he scored a lot of goals for
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Even when I started
Good
getting
price, cheap price.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Even when I started getting a bit of the old Cheng in, kept Darren Bent on top, didn't I? But no, you know, it's brilliant to look back, isn't it? Really, and just the final thing on Tottenham. Obviously, we've said you think the rating of your FIFA card should be higher. It was 16.5 million you went for. What's Darren Bent worth today? And bearing in mind, it's a dying art. What you used to do best. Classic centre forward.
Yeah, he's a dying art. When you look at, you have to compare him to people. So I think Watkins went for 30 million to Villa. I believe my Pompey's better than him.
Yeah.
So that maybe somewhere around 50, maybe.
Yeah,
You don't know.
just a cheeky 50.
Maybe a cheeky 50 because you look at some of the price tags now. I mean, they're insane. When you're talking, you could go 8 million for Maguire. Because this is where the kind of stigma can come from. Because you go 8 million for Maguire for a centre half. That's rubbish. But Liverpool played 75 million for Van Dijk,
Yeah.
and he's worth every single penny.
Yeah,
Do you
probably say it's a bargain.
I'd probably say it's a bargain.
Yeah.
I think he could have gone for 100 million.
Yeah.
Virgil van Dijk. So
and still no one would have battled.
exactly.
Yeah.
You talk about the best centre back in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd probably say anywhere around 50 million. Probably I'd say.
Yeah. All right then, I'll give you 50 million.
Thank you.
50 million. Just find a club who's going to pay 50 million first.
Yeah.
But you know, jokes aside, the career was phenomenal. You know, as 𝙟𝙗𝙗 alluded to earlier in the little video, you're part of the Premier League 100 club, and obviously, you know, there's a few names that have been joined that list.
Oh yeah, they let everyone in that club now.
Ronaldo, 100th goal, his lot.
3-1 lost.
You're not going to let me get away with that. Even just praise for Ronaldo.
Yeah, Ronaldo. Congratulations, 100 goal, 3-1 and lost.
I'm sure he'll be watching.
Yeah.
But you know,
like and subscribe.
Yeah,
Ronaldo.
there you go. You heard it here first from the man himself. But you know, obviously before that there was the likes of like Henry and Shearer and the names like this who, without doubt, it doesn't sound too bad when you put it like that, is it? So when you're obviously building up to the 100 Premier League goals, you know, it's not something that comes out of nowhere or out of the blue, like a England call-up, for example. You know, you can smash it, but if someone doesn't see what you see, you're not getting called up.
Yeah.
Whereas the goals, they're up to you. So what did you feel like? And you know, as I've said before, you know, the little tag when you're warming up on Sky comes up, if Ben scores today, it'll be his 100th Premier League goal and stuff like that.
For me, it didn't really faze me until I got into the 90s. I went to the 90s and someone said, "Oh, you know, you're only 9 goals off of the 100 club." I went, "Am I?" Didn't know. Didn't pay no attention to it.
Come off it, Benny. Not one little idea.
No.
You thought I might be close to that.
No. So I got to 98.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
We were playing Wolves on the Saturday, 98 at Molineux. I scored a penalty after about 10 minutes. Right. I'm thinking that's coming today because I'm ripping them to pieces.
Yeah, yeah.
We win the game 3-1. Robbie Keane scores 2 bangers. Right. Doesn't happen. But then we play QPR on the Tuesday. Cross comes in from Hutz, got across my marker, bang. But at the time we were 2-0 down.
Oh, mate. Is that like Ronaldo, right?
Yeah, so I couldn't even relax, I couldn't even celebrate. So I had to run, get the ball out of the net, point, they put it on the screen at Villa Park, Darren Bent 100 Premier League goals, which I was thankful for. And they did a little thing afterwards of 100 footballs on the pitch.
Oh, nice.
But at the time it was just get the ball out of the net, back to the halfway line against QPR.
Mate.
But as I said, you know some people get to 99, they're on there for about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
No, I got mine Saturday, 98, 99, 100, bang, done.
Good man. So go on, be honest. What did you have on the
Just
on the
100,
shirt?
just 100 Premier League goals on the t-shirt, yeah.
So what did it say? 100 PL goals.
Yeah.
Come off it. There must have been something a little.
Nah,
bit.
just like 100 Premier League goals,
And
bang.
what would you have took the top off?
Shirt off, throw the shirt in the crowd, yeah. All that.
Okay. Well, you didn't get.
Or took the booking for it.
Yeah, you'd have to. Well, you didn't get that moment. So maybe on your show on the boot room on Sunday, we'll get another top. You can wear it and get your moment, right?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure you'll be able to find some shoes that go with it, mate.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, don't worry about the outfit.
Yeah,
the
the outfit will be on point. It will be. So, yeah, another thing that I wanted to talk about really is how much you help others. And I know this sounds a bit, you know, broad and I could go anywhere with this sort of thing, but, you know, even just this podcast today, and as you alluded to, thank you very much at the start, that this was take 2. And even before I mentioned it, you know, I know you're a busy man. It never even come into my head to ask you to do it again. You know, and we checked the cameras and 2 of that of the 3 didn't record for... I'm trying to be nice to you, Benny. Do you want me to just scrap this bit? Do you want me to... But no, jokes aside, you know, even when I just said to you, look, I don't think he's recorded, absolute nightmare. The first thing you said before you even put your bag on was, if you need to record it again, let me know.
Yeah.
And, you know, it resonated with me so much because not only... You could easily be someone who's saying, you know, I'll do this, I'll do that, I ain't got time for that. But there was no hesitation from you. Even when I asked you the first time round, you know, you just said, yeah, I'm the one who's getting everything out of this, to be honest. You know, it's a dream come true, to be honest, sitting with someone who's I've watched on TV for years, but for you it's just helping someone out. So obviously I'm not the only one that you've helped out, am I? So I got in touch with someone who you are, I'd say, very good friends with, who you've helped along the way. Take a look at this.
Darren Bent, what can I say? Fantastic career. Actually, I think he's very underrated as well. I don't think he gets the respect he deserves as a footballer, first of all. I mean, he did nick a living, to be fair to him, but he's had a fantastic career. He's in the Premier League 100 club. I think a lot of people do forget that about Benny. But my life has been impacted by Benny, and to be fair, with what I do now with my career on a massively positive scale. If you want anybody who's going to take time out of their day for no gain of their own, but to actually just help somebody, that's Benty. I remember meeting him on a program we did for Channel 4, and I just met up with him, and ever since then we've been friends. And anytime I've needed him for something or asked him to come by and make some content or do some work, he'll just do it, no problem, Flex, I'm there. And I think that goes a long way. As an ex-pro who's now retired and he's doing really well, we can easily not have the time of day for content creators like myself and people doing things like what I'm doing. And it isn't just me, for the whole scene, really, he's done that. And it's good to see him go from strength to strength. He can be a bit annoying, he can be a little bit cocky, he can talk a lot of rubbish, to be fair. But I wouldn't have him any other way. Anything that you ever need from this guy, he's always there for you. And he's had a fantastic career, and it's great to see him flourishing now with the likes of yourselves at talkSPORT and doing other stuff with different media outlets as well. So big up, Bentley. I don't even, what have you done to get this tribute anyway? Why are we doing This Is Your Life with Bent? I don't understand, but I got asked to do it, and thank you for that, because I've got a lot of positive things to say. Now get out of here, please.
So I think, to be honest with you, that sums up everything really. If someone myself who's just starting out in my career, you know, I've got big dreams as well.
Yeah.
And then compared to someone like Flex, who we all know has done incredible things, really. You know, he's gone on to do some wonderful achievements, and fair play to him. He's brilliant at what he does. But I just wanted that to be a big highlight, and that to really be brought to the front really for you. And he hasn't paid me for this, well, he should really, but no, seriously, you know, it's a wonderful thing to have. And I think no matter what you achieve in life, no matter who you become or what you earn or anything like that, I think the basis is really just to be a good person and help each other out, if that's correct, would you say?
100%. As Flex was saying now, I met Flex when we did a shoot for Robbie, Arsenal TV, about a show that was, I met Flex, I'd never met him before, met him, and you're right, we just became friends. But you know, when you meet somebody and you can see how hungry they are, and you can see that they're determined to get to where they want to get to. That was Flex when I first met him, and going on his show and seeing what he's achieved till now, I know he's not finished yet. I'm convinced he's not finished yet. He speaks his mind, he speaks a lot of sense, and if I'm honest, he probably speaks more sense than some ex-players, by the way. Like, he knows his stuff. So when people try and often say to me, why have you got a YouTuber on, or why have you done this, or why did you speak to, because I know that he knows his stuff. I know that whatever comes out of Flex's mouth, it's because he's done his research, he's watched football, he's a United fan, he knows what he's talking about, and he's someone that I believe in wholeheartedly. So yeah, I mean, big up Flex. I mean, I was speaking to him the other day, obviously I FaceTimed him on Saturday morning, probably about 2 o'clock after.
Yeah.
I thought, pumping up United, but he's what a guy he is. Listen, I wish him all the very best. I know he's going to get to the very top. And yeah, it's nice to hear him say them words, because listen, the feeling is very much mutual.
Yeah, definitely. A big thanks to Flex and obviously all the other people that got in touch. I mean, it was quite hard to find people that had nice things to say about you, Benny, but I've managed
I'm sure
But I found a good few people. No, jokes aside, you know, I messaged all of them, and they were more than happy within literally half an hour. All of them at least responded saying, look, I'll get this done after I've got my work finished and stuff like that. So I think that's a credit to you as well, that they were so eager just to put their 50p in.
Yeah, it's always nice to, I always feel like you can't get to where you need to get to, you need people to help you.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? And no one can get to everywhere. No one's ever got to the very top by doing it on their own. 100%. They've always had help.
Yeah, without a doubt. So I think, you know, lighten up the mood a little bit instead of this deep being nice to Darren Bent. I think we've had enough of this, haven't we?
This time, what?
5th time now he said that, it's alright. You probably said that more Premier League goals you scored in the moment.
Yeah.
Keep going, you're on 98. You're on 98 at the moment. I hope I haven't, to be honest, after this podcast. But no, so we're getting to the end of it. We've just got a few quick fire questions. Yeah. Find out who really is behind the name Darren Bent. Yeah. So Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Liar, you've got Yeezys on.
Yeah, I still prefer Nike.
You can respect the Yeezys, yeah?
Yeah,
Adidas,
you know me, I respect all brands of trade. From '𝙑𝙏𝙗 to Mizuno to Matt to Adidas, all of them.
Yeah, good man. Favourite current Man United player?
Is that really a question?
Come on.
David De Gea.
Why?
Because he saves everything. I think he's a phenomenal goalkeeper. He had a bit of a dip, you'd have to say.
Yeah.
I thought Henderson was coming for his spot, and
no
he went,
chance,
mate.
Yeah, no
I think he's gone back to being one of the best. I'd probably say he's the 3rd best goalkeeper in the Premier League.
After Alisson and Ederson.
Come on, you know. Alisson and Ederson are the best.
Where's your boy Ramsdale?
He'd be in the top 5 this season.
Top 5?
Yeah. But De Gea, you think about the state of Man United if he wasn't in goal.
Without De Gea and Ronaldo.
But De Gea's more important than Ronaldo.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do, yeah. You think about the amount of, even when you've lost, think about the amount of saves he still had to make.
Yeah.
Liverpool is saving everything.
Yeah, and he's still conceded 9 goals this season, but we'll leave that for another day, okay? Best player that you've played with?
Luka Modric, easy.
Ballon d'Or
winner, incredible career, 4 Champions Leagues, 37, still going, incredible.
Like a fine wine, isn't he? You know the pass that he made, I think it was against Chelsea?
Outside the boot, he's an incredible footballer.
You can't even teach that.
You can't teach that.
So we'll move on. Best player you've played against?
Either Iniesta, Xavi, or Kaka.
Not a bad midfield three.
That stop.
Imagine them standing on like a Betty.
Yeah, I mean Iniesta for me was the best out of the three. Incredible. Xavi, him and Iniesta, they're like the same person. They play, but Kaká just got that presence. Big. Yeah. Kaká, Brazil.
The teammate you've most enjoyed playing with, for whatever reason that might be.
Probably Darren Ambrose. He's my friend, even my friend since we were 14 years old.
What is that like? Obviously, you've grown up with him, but then you had them moments in your career that you were playing together, and when it was going good, we'll focus on them moments. What was that like?
Yeah, incredible, because we're telepathic, me and Daz.
Yeah.
We knew straight away, I knew exactly when he got the ball, that some of his touches, I knew exactly what he was going to do, and I knew to make the run. He knew how I played, I knew how he played. And obviously, because we lived together, we trained together, we did everything together, we've roomed together. He's, he was by far my best teammate I've ever played with.
One player you'd want to play with from today's game?
Lionel Messi.
Not Ronaldo?
No, Messi.
What, like a 4-4-2, you and Ronnie up front?
No, Messi, you hear me? I want him number 10 behind me. Messi, feeding me them passes. Oh, yeah, Messi. Greatest player that ever lived.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, you know who I'm saying. Messi.
Alright, we're going to be here all evening, so we'll have to agree to disagree on that one. This is where it starts to get quite interesting, mate. And this is probably my favourite one of the lot. Would you swap your shoe collection for an FA Cup?
Yes.
You would?
Yeah.
And that means them on your feet now, give me one.
Everything for FA Cup winners medal.
Yeah.
But FA Cup as a kid was my favourite competition. Loved it even so more than the Champions League. That was the one competition that felt like it was a competition for the people. Do you know what I mean? Everybody was involved.
Everyone felt like they had a chance.
Yeah, ITV, everything, fantastic. Yeah, I'm FA Cup all day.
Over all the trainers?
Yeah, with all of them, every single one of them.
And just for the people who, in the unlikely case, don't know how many trainers you got, roughly, what we're talking?
A fair few. Just put it that way, a fair few that, a lot.
So we put it this way, more shoes than Premier League goals, yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah, comfortably. 10 times over. But yeah, 10 times over. But I'd go FA Cup winners all day.
Wow. Do you know what? I like that, mate. Never forget where you come from.
Exactly.
Good man, good man. And then very finally, if you could change one thing in your career, what would it have been?
If I could have changed one thing in my career, what would it have been? Tough question, that.
Not going to be easy, mate.
I don't think I would have changed anything.
Not one thing. I mean, that's a brilliant answer.
No, I probably wouldn't have changed anything, but if I would have changed something, it was the relationship between me and Paul Lambert.
Yeah, you've mentioned this before.
Yeah, I probably should have done more, because I love playing for that football club. I should have done more when it looked like I was on my way out, to stay there, fight, rather than just kind of... I didn't throw the towel in, but I just let him pretty much do what he wanted. I wish that was the case now, because that wouldn't be the case at all.
And finally, this is what I like to end the podcast on. Are you happy? Is Darren Bent a happy individual after everything you've gone through, the highs, the lows, in your personal life, your professional life, your new life? Has it all worked out for you to say that you're a happy individual?
Darren Bent, as we sit right now, is a very happy individual, but he's not content. There you go. I'm happy with what's going on in family life. Do you know what I mean? Work-wise, I think it's going really well, going in the right direction. Am I content? Absolutely not. Absolutely loads more to come from myself. Darren here, by the way, Darren Bent.
Just say it one more time.
Darren here, by the way, Darren Bent.
Well, Benty, I mean, that's pretty much it. Thanks again, not only for coming in again and recording it for the second time. Do you want to just mention it one last time?
Nah, it's cool, man. You did a great job.
Thank you,
mate.
Sixth time. Sixth time lucky. It's a bit like Arsenal getting into the Champions League, isn't it? So, no, but jokes aside, not only for obviously the career that I was fortunate enough to watch, but also ever since I started at talkSPORT, it's quite daunting, I must admit, coming in, not just seeing yourself, but people that you listen to, you follow their careers, and to come in, it'd be very easy for people like you to just nod your head and whatnot, but you've made the effort with me, and it really has resonated with me, as I've said before, and I do really appreciate not only your time today, your playing career, but every day working with you, mate. It's an absolute pleasure.
No worries, man. Long may it continue.
Thank you very much. Well, unfortunately, that's all we've got time for. Please be sure to like and subscribe on all the social media. It really does help more than you know. For more content, please follow the content. Benty, thank you. And thank you to everyone who's watched today.